Hey everybody, so today I'm going to show you how to do the hex nut bracelet by Kevin House. This is one I've been wanting to do for quite a while, and I do have an extra long piece of navy blue here, or acid midnight blue, because I wasn't quite sure how much I was going to need. So I've got at least 15 feet here, probably won't use all of it. And I also have a section of paracord that I've already attached my fids to. You're going to use this at the very end, so don't forget to look at the very end of the video, but I've got about 3.5, maybe 4 feet of that, and I'm just going to set that aside for now. So to start, what I've done is I have melted these ends and then rolled them in my fingers to create a point. I can get down on that for you. And it's real easy to do. You just give it a light melting and then real fast do it. And that's so that we can get it up through those hex nuts a little bit easier. So what I'm going to do is start out with my buckle here, and we're just going to take our paracord down through the top and then open up the paracord like this, and then reach through and grab your two ends and pull all your paracord through. There we go. And get that nice and tight on there. And then I flip it over and pull all the paracord through my fingers. This just makes it so that there's no twisting involved. And then bring it up through the bottom. So you're going to take the paracord up through the bottom this time. And then pull all the excess through again. Should end up with 2 loops on the back side of the buckle, just like that. And then I'm going to open this and set it down. We'll have the left cord going off to the left side and the right one off to the right. And I want to measure this at about 8.5 inches. And we're a little long right now, so oh wait, no we're not. There we go. And we are right at 8.5, so we're good. Alright, so let me explain what these are. These are, and you can get these at any Ace, I got these at Ace Hardware. But these are what they call a 5/16 hex nut. So if you go in there and say you need some 5/16 hex nut, they'll give you, these are zinc alloy, which just makes them a little shiny, or you can get stainless steel. Stainless steel usually run you about 10 cents more per piece. These are 11 cents each. I bought 20 of them. I wasn't sure how many I would need. Perfect size for the bracelet though. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is just a regular old Solomon, and that's going to lock our buckle on. So create a loop on the right with the right cord and pull it off to the left side. So you're just going right over top of the 2 center strands. Take your left cord over the right one, take it around the back, and then up through this loop. And pull her tight. Now this is a little bit different than what Kevin's tutorial shows, but you end up with the same result. And I still wanted to make sure he got credit for this one, even though it is tied differently. It's a pretty cool design. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our right and our left cord up through the center. So just go around the back and then pull it up through the center, just like that. And you're going to do the same thing with the left cord. Just bring it right up through the center. Okay, so you're going to have something that looks very similar to that. And these inner strands here, they're going underneath of this first and second strand right here. Every time you come up through the center, that's when you're going to thread on one of these nuts. So we know we're coming up through the center, so we just put these on. And if you have a hard time getting these through, just turn this clockwise and it'll actually thread itself. You actually thread the nut right on there. Alright, and then pull all of your excess through the hex nut. And you want to get it right up close, just like that. Now, with that, like that, you're going to grab these little loops right here. Just kind of open them up a little. And you want to make sure that you look down through the hex nut to make sure your right strand is still on the right, because they're never going to switch. you're never going to have your right strand on the left. They're always going to stay on the same side. So your right cord is going to go over top of the center strand right here and then down through that loop. Just like that. Get down on this a little bit closer for you. So now your left cord, you're just going to take it up like that and then down through this loop. You're just doing a series of half hitches, and then every set that you do, you're inserting a hex nut. So now that we got this, you're just going to want to tighten this up. Get this side now. The first one's always a little rough. Okay, so we'll get those tightened up. And one good way to do this is to hold the paracord like this and use your thumb to hold that nut in there. And then you can kind of get in there and tighten it up real good. Alright, so what we did with this first knot right here is we went underneath of the paracord, the center strand. So on this next one, we're going to go over top. So create a loop over here, take the paracord over the center strand, around it, and then up through that loop. So it's always going to go under. Under is when you attach one of the hex nuts. Over just means that you're finishing that section. So it's under, over, and then repeat. Under, over, repeat. So this one goes over, create a loop over here, underneath, around the back, and through. Okay, and then use that grip I was just telling you about to hold that in place, and then just get everything tightened up, and then you're back to square one. So at this point, you just run both your paracords up through the center, just like that. I'm sure you can see that. These are up through the center, and then you've got your loops over here. But before you get to the loops, you want to thread on another hex nut. Just like that. That might have been out of frame, but you get the idea. I'm sure you can figure out how to get the hex nut onto the paracord. Okay, from this point, we just take our right cord down through that loop. And then our left cord down through that loop. Just like that. And then you want to pull these tight. Whoops. Kind of flipped over on me. Alright, there we go. So we'll get this in place. Now another thing you want to make sure is that these hex nuts sit in there just like this. I don't know if you can, there we go. Yeah, you can see that. You don't want them to be like this. Just by being flat on both ends, they're going to want to go together like this. But you can, sometimes they'll try and go askew, so just make sure they're nice and flat in there. But, alright, so we'll tighten that up. So that was our under. Get this one tightened. Alright, and then, so that was our under. We went under. So this one we're going to go over, around, and through the loop. And then that finishes our half hitch there. Get that pulled tight. And then we go over, around, and through. Okay. So that gives you instructions on how to do 2 of them. I'm going to do one more here real quick. And then I'm going to finish this up, and I'll be back to show you how to add your accent color, which is my favorite part. So we're going to bring these through the center from the back side. Going to feed our hex nut on there. There we go. Now, I guess you could use smaller hex nuts, but it'd be a lot harder to get the paracord through. And I was thinking about doing that, but I would rather have it easy. Alright, right cord down through that loop. Left cord down through that loop. Alright. Hold everything together with your left hand or your right hand and thumb, and then get her tightened up. There we go. And that's all there is to it, really. And then we just do our over, around, and through, and that locks in that section, and then you go to the next one. So super simple. I know this one looks like it might be a little difficult. Just have to have a little patience. All you're doing is alternating half hitches. It's pretty easy. Alright, so I'm going to finish this on up. I'm going to get all the way down here for you. And then I'll be back to show you how to put your accent color in. Okay, so now I'm down here to the point where I can't really fit another one in there and have it still end in the correct area. So what I want to do now is I want to do a Solomon to kind of lock those in place. So we're going to do just one quick Solomon right here. Doesn't have to be super tight, just tight enough. Let me zoom out just a little here. Okay, so once we get the Solomon in place, flip your bracelet 360 degrees. So this is still the top side of the bracelet. So what we want to do is this is a 3/4 inch buckle, and I want to fill this up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my paracord up through the bottom and bring it through. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the left side. Just going to take the left side up through the bottom and pull it through. And what this is going to do, it's going to not only fill up this buckle, but we can also finish this up with a Solomon over top of this and work toward the bracelet part of it. So we'll just do a Solomon here, get that one pulled tight, and then it looks like we got enough room for one more, which we really need. We need to do at least one more so that we can get a good knot on this. So we'll do one more there, and I don't know how this is going to look with one more, but I think we got it right now how it is, but I want to try one more just in case. We might be alright. Yeah, I think we're okay. Alright, so at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my ends. And from that 16 feet or so that I had, looks like I got about 4, maybe 5 feet left. So I say if you do about 14 feet, you should be good. Just going to melt these ends real quick. I didn't cut that close enough. I needed to clip that just a little closer. I have to do a little extra melting here. Alright, there we go. Let's push that in there. There we go. Do it this side. And then we still got to do, you could end it right here, but you could, the way that Kevin does his, he adds an accent line in there, and I think he does it as he's going, which you can do also. There we go. Alright, so now to get your accent line in here, what you want to do is you want to start at the end that you started at. And I've got about 3 feet of my accent color here with the fids. And what we're going to do is we're going to go up from the back side to the front. So we're just going to go up there and up right here. You want to do this before the first nut, okay? And you want to try and make these equal lengths. We're about an inch apart, so we're good. Alright, so all you're going to have now, if you look at the back, you just have one line kind of going over the whole thing. So every time that you have a piece of paracord going through the nut, that's where you want to pass your fid through. And it's going to be kind of tight, but you can do it. It's not too hard. But you're just going to pull that through and then untwist it. You're going to do one at a time. If you do more than one at a time, it is kind of hard. And then just keep on going like that. Every time it passes through one of those nuts, you're going underneath that paracord. And this is a lot easier than trying to work with that extra cord as you're making your bracelet. You get the same result. Now if you don't have a set of fids, you could also use needle nose pliers. Basically what you would do is you would work your pliers up through like that, go the opposite way, open up your pliers, put your paracord in there, and pull it through. Works just the same way. Well, I'm going to finish this part and then I'll be back to show you how I end it. Okay, as you can see, I've gotten my my accent color going all the way down. And what I did with this one is I just ran the light blue or the Tar Heel blue as far as I could and then went down through there, so I continued the blue ones past the nut. So what I'm going to do here is I want to go down through here and just find a spot where I can come up through there. Right there will work. Pull that on through. And then we're just going to give these a snip and singe and then we'll be all done. Just make sure you're patient with this one and you'll get good results out of this. This is a pretty cool design. I like this one a lot. Alright, there we go. Perfect. And that's the last one right there. And that'll do it. Again, this design is the Hex Nut Bracelet by Kevin House. I hope you like this one. Everybody's been asking me about it. But there you have it. The Hex Nut Bracelet. Thanks for watching. I know the people in the Paracord On Facebook group are anxious to get this one, so I'm going to get this up there as quick as possible. If you haven't done so already, head on over there, facebook.com/groups/Paracord On, and check it out. Thanks for watching. Until next time, Paracord On.